stumble upon a little Giallo Midas Gallardo, which you guys remember, this is a 2004. This is literally identical in spec to my ultimate dream car when I was 10 years old, the Lamborghini Gallardo. Of course, you guys know I had one of these. I called her Candace. It was one of my favorite cars I've ever had on the channel. And this one, it's a freaking manual. Spectacular. So you guys know that the 5-liter engines sounded a lot better, different firing order than the 5.2s in the LP560s. Listen to this, it's amazing. And because it's a manual, you can free rev it. Pulled over, there's some water spots. Would you just look at it? All right, let's go for a ride. Guys, this brings back incredible memories. Honestly, it's like nostalgic. I'm driving yellow Gallardo, same year as mine, black interior, yellow stitching, contrasted, which was my dream spec. I mean, for those of you who have been with the channel for a long time, I thank you, seriously. Thanks for putting up with me for freaking 7 years and 9 months at this point. But when I had the Gallardo, and now, you know, we got a long line here for In-N-Out Burger. I kind of want some In-N-Out Burger. I didn't know what to do. I was 20 years old at the time. I was so excited, and I didn't know, should I get a manual or should I get an E-gear? And everyone told me manual, 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 so much so that I kind of just like went against the grain and got the E-gear. I don't really regret it. It was a fun experience. It was a bit clunky, but the shifts were intense, and then the E-gear hydraulic line blew and it cost me $9 grand, and I regretted every second of it. So at the end of the day, was getting a manual a better call? Yeah. The other end of the day, we're sitting here in a car for sale that is a manual yellow Gallardo. Honestly, guys, I'm curious. I mean, you know how much I love this car. But like I said, I wanted to get an enthusiast car for the channel that's a good buy that you guys can appreciate. This car was $225,000 new. And the funny part is the manual cars now go for a premium, significantly so, over the E-gear cars, whereas the E-gear was actually a $10,000 option or somewhere around there in 2004 because that was the fanciest technology. Oh, an F1 gearbox, and then everyone realized, yeah, it ain't that good. You should have gotten a manual. Why is a manual good? Well, one, it's fun. Bringing a manual back to the channel, we could do more how to drive a manual tutorials, and just having a manual in my quiver, so to speak, would be nice because I agree with you guys. I've gotten enough comments that were like, hey dude, how are you a car enthusiast if you don't have a manual? My response would be, hey dude, I live in Los Angeles, you ever been on the 405? But the reality is, I do really want a manual, and this car speaks volumes to me. So guys, if this video gets 10,000 likes, I will seriously consider buying this exact car. I'm not sure, you know, if it gets 10,000 likes, maybe I'll just buy it, honestly. If it doesn't, and you guys don't want this one in particular, then let me know, because not only does that dealer, CNC Motors, have an incredible inventory, there's a lot of cars out there, there's a lot of good deals out there right now. We ran a software program today, it's MMR, and that allows you to see all of the cars, how much they sold for in auction to dealers. So if a dealer goes, hey, yeah, the car's 120 grand because it's a manual Gallardo, and you show them MMR data that shows exactly what dealers paid for the car, every single one of them that's ever sold in the last couple of months, so it's relevant timing wise for what's going on in the economy at the time, then you kind of have, that's like your smoking gun. They're speechless. They're speechless for a reason, because you just figured out exactly how much they paid for the car, and you go, look, let's make a deal, let's make you a couple bucks, I want the car, so on and so forth. This dealer's been pretty cool, actually really cool. Everyone's a friendly person there, very transparent. Making a deal with them seems like hopefully can happen. I just want to make sure I get the right car, not for myself, but for the channel. And I genuinely believe that this Gallardo could very well be the right car for the channel. It's a manual, guys, so like, I think all systems warm. Let's listen to this thing scream. Dude, I mean, it doesn't really get much better than that. Naturally aspirated V10, gnarly exhaust without a freaking muffler. I mean, I guess it has a tiny little muffler, and oh my god, the smile on my face. Oh, oh. Back to first. That was embarrassing. Couldn't stick it in very well. You know, it's hard to stick it in when it's only 5. All right, we are back on the road again. This brings back that like kind of joyous feel, even though, of course, you know, I've had more expensive cars than this, but cars to me are not about the price tag. They never have been, they never will be. They're about how they make me feel, and this car makes me feel like, you know, OG vehicle versions. Honest to God, it drives great. The steering is nice. The acceleration, you know, it's not a race car. It's 500 horsepower, but hey, it's not slow. I mean, I think that speaks for itself that I was giggling when I've driven cars that legitimately have 1,600 horsepower to the wheels, so 2,000 crank horsepower, 4 times more than this, yet I still giggled. That wasn't, I never exaggerate stuff like that. I want you guys to get a real snapshot of what it is like to be behind the wheel of a car like this, and honestly, it's exciting because sounds badass, freaking manual, yellow Lambo. What more can I say? Like I said, 10,000 likes on this video, guys. Oh God. So a 2004 doesn't have a front lift, which makes it, they came out with a front lift option in 2005. And then in 2006, they did new gearing. They added 20 horsepower. And then of course in 2009, they switched the firing order. They made a 5.2, more power, 560, new gearbox, but all systems go! Dude, this car is legendary. And I mean, just the sound, like the clink, 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 clink. I love that. Clink, clink, clink. Metal on metal, that's pretty cool. They could have put a boot around it to hide the metal like modern cars do. But if you do that, then that means the linkage looks all ugly underneath it. This, it's beautiful. You see the mechanics behind it. And at the end of the day, I love double clutch cars because they're faster, they're more efficient. You don't lose any power between shifts, especially with McLaren's technology of ignition cut. You got different cars with boost by gear and hybrids, do power fill between the gear shifts. But at the end of the day, that's all cool for making it faster, but it's not necessarily more fun. I would say a manual car with 500 horsepower could easily be more fun than a 600 car that's an automatic. You guys let me know if you agree in the comment section below. Knowing that I drove this car legitimately, I obviously missed Canada, and I thought, you know, they don't make a manual Huracan. I kind of want a manual. So getting a Huracan in an auto again, you know, it'd be cool. I'm not writing that off, but I think I'd rather have a manual Gallardo than another automatic Huracan. I saw a lot of your guys' comments about what cars you want. I heard NSX mentioned a lot. I heard V10 M5 mentioned a lot. I heard Huracan Evo mentioned a lot. Well, I thought about the Evo at first. You know, that didn't seem like a vehicle virgin's buy. What, buy a brand new Lamborghini that depreciates? I mean, that's all fun and games. I've been there, done that, got that t-shirt. Cars I bought originally when I started Vehicle Virgins, you know, the M5, the Gallardo. I bought them used at the bottom of their depreciation curve. And right now there's really good deals going on. This car I think is about as low as it'll ever go. It already had bottomed out, but now it's bottomed out even further. You know, if you look at this car not just from a fun content perspective, but from an investment perspective. Now, cars are almost never investments. Like if you want to spend $5 million on a 1960s Ferrari, yeah, you might get a good ROI for sure. This car is a lot more reasonably priced than that. And look, I mean, I love that. It's like I come to a stop sign and you have to do something when you come to a stop sign. You actually have to, you know, put some effort into things. Honestly, the front overhang on this isn't that long, neither is the rear. I never scraped my Gallardo, even though it didn't have a front lift. I'm used to having a front lift in all my cars, but at the end of the day, my McLaren, it takes so many freaking buttons to put the front lift up, I end up like being annoyed. And that car has a much longer overhang and it's much lower than this. Honestly though, I'm thinking modification potential, guys, on this car. It's like, I could slam it, put an aftermarket exhaust, I could supercharge it. I want to do what you guys want to do. Maybe a supercharged Gallardo would be cool. Maybe I leave it stock, I don't know. Maybe I do a stroker motor kit, bore it out to 5.4 liters and have just a 600 or 700 horsepower beast. They do that with E60 M5s all the time, and I'm not saying it's the same engine, but you know, it's similar, or an R8. I'm excited. I'm really excited. That's so weird. It's 4-20-2000. That makes sense. The car is freaking epic. Honestly, guys, I love this. Let me know if you love it too, and we can bring it to the channel. I'm gonna go look at some other cars now, walk around the dealership, and MMR all of them to see what the best deal is. Because at the end of the day, I'm not impartial to one car or the other. I mean, I've got a kind of romantic attachment to this thing, but hey, if there's another car that you guys like for the channel that happens to be at a certain dealer and you think, you know, dude, get an NSX, why are you getting that? Or dude, get a this or that, let me know in the comment section below and we'll find the great deal. But my heart has this one, but it doesn't mean it's our channel. I want to get the best car for you guys. So honestly, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly had a bunch of fun filming it. As always, please browse the channel and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next video.